All right, what's up, guys? We are officially live here on YouTube, and if you're watching this at a later time, welcome to my channel. Appreciate you watching the show. So as you can see by the thumbnail that I posted there, we're going to be talking about underrated NFL teams. As you see all these teams above me right here, all these teams are favored or predicted to get under 8 wins this season. So all these teams are projected not to have a winning record. And we're going to today just deep dive into all these teams and see who could actually possibly get a winning record, one, and maybe even make the playoffs. So we're going to break down every team. We're going to go through their schedule. I'm going to be super generous to these teams. Well, I'm going to try, but you know, if they're playing a really tough team, I'm not going to give them an easy win. So I want you guys to sound off in the chat. I'm going to go over the schedule. If you guys agree, disagree, post in the chat. I want to hear from you guys. So what up, JT, in the chat first? What's up, my man? You made it. I do have the Green Bay Packers up here first. So if you're a Packers fan watching this, I would love to hear your opinion on, if the Packers will have a winning record, losing record. The big thing for the Packers, they got rid of Aaron Rodgers, of course. Jordan Love is in there, QB1. The big question is, will he succeed as the Green Bay Packers quarterback? That is the big question. They drafted him early. They pissed off Aaron Rodgers. He didn't like that. He wanted out. He got out. So now it is Jordan Love's team. JT in the chat, you said you got 3 of those teams with a winning record. All right, wait to say those 3. We'll go through it one by one. So Green Bay Packers, interesting team. If you look at their defense, their projected defense this year, they're projected 18th in the league. So it's not terrible. It's not the best. They're right in the middle there. 18th team, Jordan Love, QB1. So we're going to go through their schedule. I see more people coming in here. Appreciate you coming in. Don't forget to like the video, guys. We'll get more viewers coming in here. So week 1 at the Bears. Going to be a very tough matchup just because it's a division game. It's always a tough matchup when these guys play. Justin Fields versus Jordan Love. I'm pretty sure this will be the first time they match up against each other. And Bears are going to be favored in this one, I believe, just because they are at home. Justin Fields has so much to prove because last year he had high expectations. He failed everybody. He failed the Chicago Bear fans. And they got to see if he could bounce back. So that's the big question here. So would they get a win here week 1? Appreciate the like on the video. I'm going to be marking here the wins. It's definitely winnable for the Green Bay Packers. I'm not saying Bears for sure win this one. It's not guaranteed. They got 2 straight road games. Next one's versus Atlanta Falcons, which will be another tough one. So I think Packers are going to win one of these 2. So we'll give them one win there. I don't think they're going to start the season 2-0. They definitely could start the season 0-2. But let's just be generous to the Packers. We'll have them start 1-1 in the season. They come back home, first home game of the season against the New Orleans Saints. Saints are going to be a solid team. They got David Carr in there. It's going to be his first year. But this will be the Packers' first home game. I'm going to give them the win just to be nice here. Just because first home game, Saints, it's a tough one. Jordan Love needs to prove to his Green Bay Packer fans that he's the next QB1. And then they got the Detroit Lions in the next week. Lions are going to be tough. Another division game. Packers at home. But I do think the Lions take that one. So we're going to get a loss there for the Packers. JT, you said you think Packers defense can definitely win games. You think they lose week 1. Bears have lots of energy going. Okay, so you think they lose week 1. I'm going to give them one win. But they could very well start 0-2. See more viewers popping in here. Appreciate you guys all tuned in. Say what's up in the chat, guys. So I said they'll lose to the Lions. Or they'd beat the Saints, lose to the Lions. At the Vegas Raiders. I mean, it should be a win for the Packers, but, it's on the road. We'll see. Jimmy G is playing if he's healthy. But the Raiders defense is ranked 31st in the league. So terrible defense for the Raiders. At least that's what their projected rank is going into this season. Let's just give the Packers a win here against the Raiders. I'll mark them there as a win. The next week, they're going to be playing the Denver Broncos. That's a very tough game right there. It's going to be on the road at Denver. I'm not going to give them a win there. That's going to be a loss. They come back home versus the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are a very tough team. I just really don't see the Packers beating the Vikings. Going on to the Rams, another home game for the Packers. I do think the Packers can beat the Rams only because the Rams have the worst defense in the league going into this season. They're projected 32nd place in the whole league in defense. The Rams blew up their defense. They got rid of so many of their guys. They're rebuilding, and the Rams have a lot to prove. On the road against the Green Bay Packers, it's gonna be a close game. I'm not gonna say it's easy by any means, but let's just give the Packers a win there at at home versus the Rams. And if you guys agree with me, disagree with me, post in the chat as you're hearing this. All right. At Steelers, Pittsburgh Steelers, don't think they'll win there. It's a tough one. Chargers, another tough team. They're going to be playing the Chargers at home. That's the only advantage I see there. But if Herbert's healthy, if the Chargers are just healthy in general, I don't see any way the Packers win that game. But on the other hand, Chargers, they choke, man, in big spots. And not even a big spot. The games that the Chargers should easily win, they tend not to win them. And this should be one of those games for the Chargers. But I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt to the Chargers and say they beat the Packers here. Next game here, Detroit Lions. This one's going to be played on Thanksgiving, so that could go either way. But Detroit Lions at home. Detroit Lions are a lot better team, so no way they're going to lose to the Packers. Then they go to the Chiefs, or the Chiefs are coming to the Packers here. No way that the Packers will beat the Chiefs unless Mahomes isn't playing or something like that. So I can't give them a win there. I'll give them a win at the New York Giants. That game could go either way too, but let's just be nice to the Packers. We'll give them a win there. Tampa Bay Bucks, they should win this game. Baker Mayfield versus Jordan Love. Obviously, Mayfield has more experience, but I don't know. You just can't trust Baker Mayfield here. And then the Bucks have a 19th ranked defense versus an 18th ranked defense, so it should be pretty even on that front. Let's just give the Packers a win there. At home versus the Bucks. Let's scroll down a little bit. At Carolina Panthers, don't see them winning there. And then I don't see them winning at the Vikings, but possibly getting that last W of the season at home versus the Chicago Bears. So I'll give the Packers a win there. So the Packers are are projected to get, I believe, 7.5 wins. So that pretty much saying, under 8 wins this season. I have them at 2, 4, 6, 7. I literally have them at 7 wins. So the question is, as you guys can see, will the Packers get over 7 wins? I just can't see it. This was me being generous to the Packers, and I still only got them at 7 wins. So we're going to put a big old X on the Packers there to get over 7 wins. I just don't see it happening. What do you guys think in the chat? What up, Matt, in the chat? Packers will finish second in the division, if not close to third. Yeah, Matt, the Lions are going to finish first in that division. I don't know about the Bears, man. We're going to talk about them, but they're coming up here. Let's move on to the Panthers here. JT, you say the Packers go 8-9. Okay. So you do think they'll get over 7 wins. So it would be a check mark for JT in the chat. All right, cool. Mark, what's up, Mark? You said 7 national games for the Green Bay Packers. What do you mean national games? But I do have the Packers getting 7 wins, if that's what you mean. But that is, like I said, that is me being very nice to them. Ideally, or in reality, I feel like they're probably going to be a 5-win team, 6. But we're being nice. 7. I would, if you're a better, bet the under. Take under 7.5. But that's just what's projected, and I'm taking the under. Okay, moving on to the Panthers here. Let's go to their schedule. Gotta find them here. Carolina. Whoops. All right, here we go. So first game here at the Atlanta Falcons. Panthers are going to be an interesting team. They got Bryce Young as their QB. He's a rookie, obviously. We don't know how good he's going to be. He was great in college, but he's a small size. Russell Wilson proved that it doesn't matter how tall or small you are, you can still dominate. But I don't know. I just don't see him dominating as a rookie. I could definitely see Bryce Young getting better as time goes on. But first year QBs as a rookie, it's tough unless you're Brock Purdy, right? Oh, 7. Oh, okay. So you are talking national games. I don't know. Is that true? Is it 7 national games? I'm actually not sure. But if they are, it must just because Jordan Love, Aaron Rodgers leaving. I don't know. All right, moving on to the Panthers. I'm going to be generous again. I just want to see if I'm generous to a team, will they get over 7 wins? At Atlanta Falcons division game, I just can't give them a win there. I do think Falcons will win it. It's just I got to give it to the Falcons. At home versus the Saints. Saints are a weird team, man. Like, do I trust Derek Carr? Obviously, if you take experience, Derek Carr over Bryce Young, you got to move on with the Saints. But let's just be generous. Quotes, generous. We'll give the Panthers a win versus the Saints. Next game at the Seattle Seahawks. I know this is JT's team in the chat. I do not like the Seahawks. I'm a 49er fan. So I would love the Panthers to beat the Seahawks here. But, man, Seahawks at home are hard to beat in general. I just don't see Bryce Young beating Geno Smith. Seattle's defense is a little better. I'm trying to look ranking-wise. Panthers rank 17th. I do not know what the Seahawks rank. I'll have to look that up. But I would probably lean. Panthers beat the Seahawks last year. I mean, but that was with better QBs. I don't know. I don't see the Panthers beating the Seahawks, even though I'd definitely be cheering for the Panthers. But I just don't see the Seahawks beating them. I mean, the Panthers beating the Seahawks. All right, back home versus the Vikings. Another very tough game. And I want to be nice to the Panthers and give them a win, but it's just like, I don't know. Let's just give them a win here. Maybe they could beat the Seahawks or the Vikings, but we could give them a win. Okay, at Detroit Lions, I do not think they will beat the Detroit Lions at or away. So in Detroit, don't see a win there. Don't see a win in Miami. That's going to be very tough. We'll give them a win in Houston. Or not in Houston, against Houston at home. The Colts, we'll give them another win there. Should be 2 easy games in a row. We'll give them a win. One less day to prepare for Seattle as well. Seattle wins. Okay. Hey, that's how I see it. And one less day to prepare. It's always tough on a team. So far I have the Panthers at 4 wins. So we gave them a win at the Colts or versus the Colts. At the Bears, I mean, they could definitely win it, but it's a primetime game. Let's just give it to the Bears. At home versus the Cowboys, I would love for the Panthers to beat the Cowboys, but I think Cowboys will win. At the Titans, I don't see them winning that game, but it could be close. Could go either way. I'm just not going to give them the win there. I'll give them the win at the Tampa Bay Bucks, even though they could definitely lose it, but I'll be nice, give them a win there. At New Orleans Saints, don't think they'll win. I'll give them a home win versus the Falcons. They'll split one or split the 2 games versus the Falcons, division games. Green Bay Packers, let's just give them a win, even though I said, the Packers could beat the Panthers, but let's just be generous. Let's give the Panthers a win here. So, Matt, you said you could see the Texans getting 7 wins. Any more to stretch, though? Yeah, I mean, I'm just, like I said, I'm just being generous to these teams. I'm not saying these are guaranteed, but I'm just seeing even if I'm generous to the Panthers, it's like, will they still get 8 wins? Right now, I have them at 2, 4, 6. I have them at 7. Green Bay Packers. Okay. Oh, yeah, I said that was a win. At Jacksonville, do not see it. And then at home versus the Bucs should be a win, but I did say they would lose. Yo, what up, Chris, in the chat? What's up, my friend? How's it going, man? Yeah, he's a Bucs fan, so you're not going to like that. So I did say they would lose at the Bucs, and then they're going to win at home versus the Bucs. Most likely that series is going to split. I don't see the Panthers going 2-0, unless, it all depends on health, too, for sure. But let's just say I gave those wins that I said. That is Panthers at 2, 4, 6, 8. That's the Panthers at 8 wins right there. But that is me being generous, like I said. Let's just put a check mark, because I'm going to do a video at the end of the season where I react to this video that we're filming right now. So, maybe I'll be right. But let's just put a check mark, pretty much saying I could see the Panthers getting at least 8 wins. So getting over 7 wins. All right. I got to get some water here. All right. JT, you said Panthers getting 5 wins. Yeah. I mean, I would take away 2 of those wins. I would probably have the Panthers at 6 in all reality. So if I watch this back, 6 wins, 8 wins max for me. Chris, you're saying Bucks winning the division again. That's just tough to see, man. The Falcons, can't forget about the Falcons too. Can't forget about the Falcons. But yeah, Panthers, they're probably not going to win the division with Bryce Young at the helm. All right, moving on to, what was the next team here? The Bears. Let's move on to the Bears. This is a team, man, that it could go either way. Like, they had all the potential last season. They have all the potential again this season. We don't know if Justin Fields is going to get better, stay the same, or get worse. Bears fans obviously hope he's going to get better. You think, JT, you think it takes time for Young to get used to the height of the NFL? Yeah, I don't know. I just don't see him succeeding year one for Young. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. It'll be interesting. All right, moving on to the Bears. Will they get... So they're projected right now at... Where are they? They're projected to get under 8 wins. So they're at 7.5. So under 8. So yeah, let's break it down. Week 1, and this is, like I said again, this is me. I'm going to try to be generous to these teams to see if we could even get to 8 wins. So week 1 versus the Packers at home. I think I said I would give that win to the Bears, so let's just give them a win there. At Chris's Tampa Bay Bucks. Bears at the Bucks. That is going to be a tough one, but honestly, that's going to be a really good game and a close game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout by either team. I think they're going to put up a fight. What is the Bears? The Bears defense ranks 29th in the NFL, which is not good at all. Bucks defense is 19th right now, at least. That's tough. So at the Bucks, we got to give the Bucks a win there. At the Kansas City Chiefs will win there. So the Bears can definitely start the season 1-2, or at best 2-1. And then we're on to the Broncos, or playing the Broncos at home. Broncos are definitely a better team, but let's just give the Bears the benefit of the doubt there. Let's give them a win. Chris, you said you think Fields will have a better season, but they're going to have to run him a lot, so watch out for injuries. Yeah, that's the number one thing with a running QB, man. Injuries. So I'm sure Fields doesn't want to run a lot, but maybe his instinct is. Well, it always was, but you see what happens to almost every running QB. They get injured, and that's including Patrick Mahomes. Obviously, he comes back from his injuries quicker, but yeah, I don't know. But yeah, hopefully Fields does have a better season. I got nothing against the Bears as long as my Niners don't play him. All right, so let's give the Bears a win versus the Broncos at the Washington Commanders. At the Commanders, this is tough because I was looking this up. The Commanders have the 6th ranked defense in the NFL right now. So 6th ranked defense at home in Washington. I got to give it to the Commanders. And, well, Sam Howell is their QB, so we don't know how that's going to go. Yeah, I got to give it to the Commanders there. And then they play the Vikings at home, then the Raiders at home. They're definitely going to beat the Raiders, but will they beat the Vikings? Division game. I think they will. I think they're going to go 2-0 in that home stretch. So let's give them 2 wins there. So right now we have the yeah, Patrick Mahomes doesn't run that much, but when he does, he's effective. And he has gotten injured. He's had like those toe injuries in the past. Nothing crazy, but at least from running. Okay, so we have the Bears at 4. At the Chargers, don't think they'll win there if everyone's healthy on the Chargers. At the Saints, that's going to be tough. I'm going to give it to the Saints. We'll give the win versus the Panthers at home, or the Bears are at home versus the Panthers. At the Lions, do not see them beating the Lions. Do not see the Bears beating the Lions at the Lions. Do not see them beating Vikings at Vikings. This is going to be a really good game. Lions, Bears at Chicago. I want to lean Bears just because it is a division game and they're the home team. Obviously, Lions can definitely get that W. Let's just be nice to the Bears. We'll give them the win versus the Lions. Screw it. I don't think they're going to win at Cleveland. That's if, Deshaun Watson's playing well, and I think he will be playing better this season. Cardinals, definitely going to be a win there. Falcons at home should be a win. Should be a win. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt again. At the Green Bay Packers, I said Packers could win that one, being nice. But Bears can definitely win it. But right now I have the Bears at 2, 4, 6, 8. I have them at 8 wins already. So, and that's me being nice, semi-nice to them. I'm going to say yes, Bears can definitely get over 8 wins. And because they're a team that they have a lot to prove. That no one's really projecting the Bears to be horrible this season. So I'm going to put that check mark on the Bears. It wouldn't hurt to bet the over. I'm not saying they're going to win the division. I'm not saying they're for sure a playoff team or anything like that. But they can definitely get 8 wins at the very least. Well, yeah, 7 to 8, but let's just lean 8. All right, moving on to JT. You said Bears are 8 and 9 for you. Okay, so we're about the same exact 8 and 9. All right, moving on. We're gonna move on to the LA Rams. And then we're going to be doing the Commanders, Raiders, and the Bucks because all these teams are projected over 8 wins or under 8 wins. Sorry, the Cardinals are projected under 8 wins, but the Cardinals are going to be so bad this year. They're a tire fire. Kyler Murray's not going to be playing a lot, at least in the beginning. So Cardinals are just screwed. So I didn't even put them on the list. All right, moving on to the Rams. I don't like the Rams, as a lot of you guys know. They're in my division. I'm a Niner fan. Matthew Stafford will be at the helm again this season. If you look at the Rams defense, they used to have a great defense all these past years, but I looked it up. Coming into this season, they're ranked 32nd. That means they are ranked the worst defense in the league, which I was shocked to see. But they said they're in a full rebuild on defense. So okay, I'll take it. We'll go with that. This is just projected. It's not like it's official, but it's projected. Worst defense. Let me pull up the Rams schedule here. All right. Yeah, Matthew Stafford is QB1. But the big thing is, will he stay healthy? That's the number one question. So let's break down the Rams here. Yo, what's up, Brandon? Oh yeah, we're not doing baseball today. We're talking NFL underrated. Rams offensive line is rough too. Chris, you said Stafford will be out by week 4. I wouldn't doubt it, to be honest. Especially they're playing Niners in week 2. They're playing the Seahawks week 1. That's 2 division games right there. So, and they play the Bengals. Yeah, I wouldn't doubt that. That's a pretty good prediction right there, Chris. All right. So obviously I'm a Niner fan. I'm not going to give the win there, and nor will they win at all versus the Niners this season. Even though it's a division game, it should be a semi-good game. But at the Seahawks, I'm going to give it to the Seahawks versus the Niners. Niners should win there. So Rams are going to start off this season 0-3. Like, that's like, whew. I don't like guaranteeing things, but that's almost guaranteed an 0-3 start to the season. I mean, possibly the Rams could beat the Seahawks just because it's a division game. And the Rams-Seahawks, those are always close games for some reason. I mean, not for some reason. It is the division game, but they're always just so close. Okay, at the Bengals. At the Colts, I mean, Colts are going to be pretty bad this season. Let's just be nice to the Rams and give them one win there at the Colts, even though they could definitely lose that game too. They're not going to beat the Eagles. I think they definitely will beat the Cardinals, so we'll give them 2 wins right there. Versus the Steelers, do not see them beating the Steelers either. I think their defense will dominate the Rams. Yeah, week 2 at Levi's South. Exactly. Levi's South, baby. All right, so Steelers at the Cowboys. Don't see them beating the Cowboys. At the Packers. I gave that win to the Packers when I was talking about them, but, you know, the Rams definitely could beat them if Stafford is healthy, if Cooper Kupp's healthy, you know, like all their stars are healthy. But that's a big question mark. Yeah, I don't think so. At home versus the Seahawks. I say they split one versus the Seahawks, so we'll give them a win there. Chris, you say Cooper Kupp traded before the deadline. I mean, that could definitely happen, especially if the Rams have a horrible start. I mean, I'm sure the Rams are just going to blow up their team and kind of rebuild. And, you know, everyone's trying to go for Caleb Williams. But, you know, teams don't like talking about tanking. But I don't know if the Rams will be a tanking type team, but we'll see. All right, so I gave him one against the Seahawks. We'll give him one at the Cardinals. They definitely could beat the Browns. I mean, Browns could definitely beat them. Let's just be nice to the Rams. We'll give them a win there. They won't beat the Ravens. Commanders' defense is really good. I think Commanders win this game. Saints should win. At the New York Giants, it could be a win. But I don't know. They're not going to beat the Niners at San Francisco. But here's the only way they beat the Niners is this is the last week of the season. So if the Niners are like for sure guaranteed first place or, you know, like a great playoff spot, the Niners are going to rest a bunch of our players. So that's the only way the Rams would beat. That's the only way the Rams would beat the Niners. But we won't look that far ahead, like about sitting players or anything. So let's just, right now I have the Rams at 5 wins. Even if I'm nice to the Rams and give them one more somewhere in the schedule, that's 6. So they're getting a big fat X mark. Definitely do not see the Rams getting over 7 wins. So let's put an X on the Rams here. What are they? So they have them at... Where's LA? LA. They have the Rams projected at 6.5. I would bet the under, to be honest, because like I have them at 5 wins. They could possibly get 6. I don't see them even getting 7 wins. So I'd bet the under on the Rams because they're not going to stay healthy. You said Caleb Williams will not work well with McVay. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I mean, McVay's a great coach, or at least a good coach. So yeah, if you don't, I mean, you know Caleb Williams best, Chris. So I don't know. But yeah, who would Caleb Williams work best with? What team would you think he would work best with? Because he's going to go to a bad team, so to speak. So he has to make that team better. All right. Moving on. How long have we been live? We've been live for like 30 minutes. Appreciate all you guys tuning in. Don't forget to like the video. We'll get more fans in here. All right, cool. Also, don't forget to subscribe if you're new and haven't subbed to the channel yet. Okay, moving on to the Washington Commanders. Commanders schedule. This is another like weird team. Like I don't know if they're going to be good, don't know if they're going to be bad just because they got a really good defense. Last year they went 8-8 and 1. 8-8 and 1. They were 4th in the NFC East. I don't think they're going to get 4th this season. All right, so let's just break it down here. JT, you said 3 wins for you for the Rams. Dang. You're harsh on those Rams. All right, here we go. Commanders, 6th ranked defense. Sam Howell is their QB. So, I mean, I don't know what to think of that. Jacoby Brissett is the backup, though. So that's a great backup to have. I know he's not amazing, but he's, he could hold his own. But yeah, with a 6th ranked defense wins games. Not always, but most of the time. Or at least they could keep you close in games. So that's all the Commanders need to do is stay close and win some close games. All right, let's break it down. The salty Rams. Week 1 versus the Cardinals. Let's give the Commanders a win there. At the Broncos, I think Broncos are definitely going to be better. I don't know. I don't see the Commanders beating the Broncos there. At home versus the Bills. I mean, I don't think they'll do it. I don't think they'll beat the Bills at home. At the Eagles, I mean, okay, let me go back to that. Bills, that could be an upset win there versus the Bills. I might call that now an upset win for the Commanders. I'm not going to give him an official W on that, but don't be surprised if Commanders upset the Bills. Just because of that defense, man. But I know the Bills have a good defense too, so that could be a very low-scoring game and can be won by a field goal. Okay, at the Eagles, they're not going to beat the Eagles. Let's give them a win versus the Bears. Let's just do it, just to be nice to them. Chris, you said Williams will work with Washington, more freedom to be a playmaker. Okay, that would be cool if he played on Washington. I wouldn't be against that. I don't want to see him in my division, that's for sure, in the NFC West. All right, so I said Bears would be a win. At the Falcons, definitely winnable. I just don't know. I'm not going to give them the win there. At the Giants, I'll give them a win. Is a division game. At home versus the Eagles, division game could be a good one, could be a close one. Eagles are a better team, so I'll just give it to the Eagles. At the New England Patriots, I mean, I've got to give the win to the Commanders there. At the Seattle Seahawks, Seahawks should win that game. I'll be definitely cheering for the Commanders to win that game, to beat the Seahawks. Oh, that's a tough one. I'll just give it to the Seahawks on that. They should beat the Giants again. I think they'll go 2-0 versus the Giants. Don't think they'll beat the Cowboys on the road. Miami Dolphins at home. Dolphins should win. I mean, the thing with the Dolphins, though, is if Tua can stay healthy, I mean, a lot of people saying if he gets one more concussion, he might be out for the season, or he's going to sit out for like half the season at the very least, or like 4 to 5 games, because people are going to be pissed off. The fans are going to be like, dude, what are you guys doing to Tua? But that's just football, man. You get concussions, especially QBs. I mean, obviously you don't want them, but it just happens. Running QBs get hit. but Tua needs to stay in that pocket. He could run around a little bit, but you know what I mean. Matt, F the Seahawks. Exactly. We don't like the Seahawks, but I'm sorry, JT. I know you're a Seahawk fan. Okay, so not going to give them. Dolphins should win that one. They should beat the Rams. We'll give them a win there. At the New York Jets. Jets are a way better team, so Jets should win that one. Niners should beat the Commanders. Obviously, you know, I'm a Niner fan, so I'm going to say that every time. And then at home versus the Cowboys. 4, 6. Let's just give them a win because it is a division game, even though Cowboys are a better team. But I think Commanders' defense could win that game for them, or at least keep it close. Let's give them a win. But even then, I have the Commanders at 2, 4, 6, 7 wins. Do not see them getting 8 wins at least. I mean, I could see them getting 8 wins max. Definitely don't see them getting 9, 10, definitely not that. But I have them at 7 wins, and they're projected, they're exactly projected at, they're at 6.5. So that's a tough one. Yeah, I guess maybe I'd lean the over. But that's a tough one. I don't know. I wouldn't bet on that one at all because that's too close. They could definitely get 6 wins or 7. That's a weird one. But we'll put an X on. Washington because I don't think they'll get over 8 wins or over 7 wins. But what do you guys think about Washington? Post it in the chat. Chris, do I have the Niners going 17-0? No, I do not. I'm actually kind of harsh on the Niners. I'm making a video on the Niners. I think I'm going to post that. I think it's going to post next week, but I already filmed it. But yeah, I do not have them going 17-0. I think I have them at like 4 or 5 losses, but that's just, I'm kind of just like, I don't know, going both ways on the Niners. Definitely, I hate saying my team's going to be undefeated because that's not reality right there. But you never know. Of course, I would hope for that. All right. Moving on to the Raiders. Chris, your Bucks is next. But moving on to the Raiders. I mean, Raiders, I could already tell you that it's probably going to be a rough season for them. But I've said so many times when Jimmy G was on the Niners, I was actually I was a huge Jimmy G fan. I never hated him. Obviously, the injuries sucked. He would throw picks, all that stuff people complained about. But if you looked at Jimmy G's stats before he got injured last season, before Purdy came in there, Jimmy G, stats-wise, he was a top 5 QB, which is pretty amazing. Touchdown-wise, he only threw like 3 or 4 picks. I could be wrong on that, but I know it was in the top 5. All those stats combined, it was a top 5 QB. So I was like, dude, Jimmy G's awesome. And he's a pretty like consistent QB, honestly. He's consistent. He's not amazing. He's not terrible. He's like right in the middle. Okay. So moving on. So to the Raiders. Looking at. So yeah, JT, you said Jimmy G. Hope he stays healthy. Chris, you said Jimmy G will only play 8 games this season. I mean, I'd take 8 from him, but yeah, you're probably right. That's Jimmy G's story. He can't stay healthy, but I don't know. So they have to have a solid line, and I don't think they got it. But I will be cheering for Jim. I'd never cheer for the Raiders, but I will be cheering for Jimmy G. Like if they have a good season, cool. I mean, they're in the AFC, so I don't really care too much. All right. Week 1, they play the Denver Broncos. Oh yeah, so the Raiders defense is ranked 31st in the league, so the second worst defense in the league. So we got to keep that in mind. Terrible defense. So at the Broncos, don't see them winning there. I'm going to be nice to the Raiders again. I'm going to try to give them wins when I can. They're going to start the season 0-2. I mean, they should start the season 0-4 to be honest. But the game against the Steelers is a primetime game. Looks like that's was that Sunday Night Football? Sunday Night Football. I'm gonna give them a win, but I really don't see that happening. But Jimmy G prime time. I think he steps up prime time. Okay, they're gonna lose against the Chargers. Let's give them a win versus the Green Bay Packers. Another prime time game. Jimmy G prime time against Jordan Love. We'll give him a win. Let's give them a win against the Patriots, even though Patriots want their revenge on the Raiders. And that's going to be a tough one, but let's just give them a win to be nice. Don't think they'll beat the Bears. Don't think they'll beat the Lions. They could definitely beat the Giants. We'll give them a win there. They're not going to beat the Jets. They're not going to beat the Dolphins. Not going to beat the Chiefs. Vikings going to be tough. They have a really tough stretch. Wow. Like middle of the season. It's like they got the Jets, Dolphins, Chiefs, Vikings, Chargers, Chiefs again because division. And then they got the Colts. We'll give them a win for the Colts. And then at home versus Denver. If I gave them that win, I have them at 5 wins right now. If I gave them that win, it would be at 6. What do they got them at right now? Let's see. Las Vegas. They have them at 6.5. So, yeah, we're going to bet the under. So even if I give the Raiders an extra win, that's 6 wins right there. So will they get over 7 wins? No, they will not. That's a big fat X right there. Let's put an X on them. Just don't see them getting, definitely not even getting 7 wins. So I can't believe they have them so high. So bet the under on the Raiders if you want to make some money there. Unless Jimmy G just goes all out. But Raiders defense would have to step up big time. Chris, you think I'm sleeping on the Giants this year? I don't know, man. Because, even though they made the playoffs last year, I don't know. They just didn't. Their coach is great and all that. But I don't know. I think they're going to digress, to be honest. Because Barkley has to stay healthy. And I don't know if that's going to happen. And if Daniel Jones... he got paid big time. He's a good quarterback, but he's not a great quarterback. So if he gets hurt, Giants are just screwed. So that's another thing, health. But you could say that with every team. Will you stay healthy? That's the big one. All right, Chris, we're moving on to your team, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They have them at, let me go to their schedule. So Baker Mayfield, of course, going to be your QB1. They have the Bucks. Where is it? There they are. They have them at 6.5 wins. That's their projected wins for this season. JT, you said you see the Raiders at 2 to 4 wins. All right, there you go. So yeah, bet the under on the Raiders. All right, Chris, you have the Bucks going 9-8. Obviously, you're being biased because you're a Bucks fan. I don't think I see that. They went 8-9 last year, so you think they're going to have a winning record this year by 1. Let's break it down. Here we go. Week 1. Oh, yeah, what was their defense again? Bucks defense is ranked 19th in the league going into this season. So not the best, not the worst. At Minnesota, I don't think that's going to be a win. Just because it's on the road, game 1, sure, you can win it. I'm not saying it would be a blowout by any means. Let's give you a win versus the Bears. Trask might be the starter by week 4. Oh, okay. That'd be interesting. Beat out Mayfield. Yeah, I mean, Mayfield, dude, he goes on runs. Like, he has games where he is so bad, he throws like 2 picks, 3 picks in a game. He tries to be a hero and just like run all around and make crazy throws. He thinks he's Patrick Mahomes, but he's not. But sometimes it does pay off for him when he does those crazy, plays and stuff. You said the defense will be better than 19th. Yeah, probably. You guys do have a good defense. But yeah, I was shocked. That article was posted last week. The ranked defenses, so it could change every week. All right, so we got the Bucks beating the Bears. The Eagles, man, I mean, you guys are at home, so it gives you a solid chance. I just don't see it happening. So I won't say a win there. At the Saints, it's another tough game, a division game. So you definitely beat them. I'm going to say no just because it's on the road. I'm going to be nice, give you a win versus the Lions because you're at home. I think you could beat the Falcons too. At the Bills, don't see that happening. We'll give you a win at the Texans. Tennessee Titans, you could beat them at home. You play my nine, dude. I feel like we've been playing each other, the Niners, Bucks. Like we've been playing each other like the past 3 years. Usually we take like a couple years off from playing each other, but I feel like we always play the Bucks now. Obviously I'm gonna go for my Niners. Gotta give me a win, or can't give you a win there. Colts will give you a win at the Colts. We'll give you, let's see, Panthers. We'll give you a win there. So right now I have them 2, 4, 6. I have you at 7 wins right now because I'm being nice right now. I could be a little harsher. At the Packers, I mean, you could definitely beat them there. But let's just, Packers at home if they stay healthy. Jaguars going to be tough. You could beat the Saints. We'll give you 8 there. Oh, dang. I don't know, man. And then you got a road game. Division game at the Carolina Panthers. So I have you at 8 wins. But I don't know. And that's with me giving you some an extra win there. Because I said you would beat the Lions at home. What else? I think I said you would beat the Saints one of those times. But let's give you guys a check mark because I do think the Bucks could definitely get over 8 wins. So let's give the Bucks a check mark there. Because they're not the worst team. They got a solid offense. And they got, pretty decent defense, even though they're ranked 19th. So I'll be nice to your team, Chris. And I'll give you 8. You got them at 9. JT, you're saying 10 wins. Okay. Kamara might be suspended first game. Oh, dang. Okay. But what do you mean first? Oh, that's right. So that could be interesting, but I just can't. I think they're going to be right around 8 to 9 wins max. JT, you said you have them at 10. Yeah, that's an interesting division. That division's up in the air. Falcons can win it. Bucks can win it. Don't think the Panthers can win the division. Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the Saints. If David Carr is playing great, Saints could win it too. I don't know. That's a toss-up. That's going to be a good division. It's going to be a competitive division, the NFC South next year. So those are the teams, guys. These are the teams I wanted to go over just because all these teams above me, they were all predicted to get 7 wins and less. So under 8 wins. All the other teams are projected like 8 or more. So I'm not going to go over those teams. This is an episode of just underrated teams. Like people predicting them to be bad, but maybe they could be better. So I got the Panthers doing well, even though they're in the Bucks division, but I do think they're going to be better than 6.5 wins. What do I have the Panthers at? 2, 4, 6, 8. So 8 wins. And then I think out of all these teams, though, to be honest, I think out of all these teams, I think the Bears will be the best team out of just this group right here. They can definitely be like a 9-10 win team if, they're gelling and everything's going good. Justin Fields stays healthy. What did I have them at? 2, 4, 6, 8. I have them at 8, but yeah, they're going to get over 7 wins for sure. So I would put money on the Bears. I also put money on the under for the Raiders. Definitely don't think they're going to have a good season. So there you go. Those are my 2 picks right there. Over for the Bears, under for the Raiders. If you're betting on the season, but that's just my picks there. So the next episode I want to do, I want to do overrated teams. I think that's going to be next week. I want to do like one a week here. So these are the underrated teams. We're going to do overrated teams. And yeah, I'm going to be trying going live here more often on YouTube. The channel's growing nicely. And yeah, follow me on Instagram, TikTok, not Facebook, YouTube Shorts, all that good stuff. And appreciate you guys watching. This is almost an hour stream. Nice. Appreciate all you guys watching. And appreciate all you guys that were in the chat talking throughout the video. It helps a lot. And if you're watching this video at a later time, leave a comment, leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to Wildcard Sports, the channel. This is pretty much the podcast right here in a way. So yeah, next week. So stay tuned for the next live stream. If you're a subscriber, you'll see it. And you guys have a great rest of your week. Yeah, Leeds United this Sunday morning. I'm going to be up for that game. We're doing a watch party with the Leeds United fans. So that will be on Sunday morning, 6:30 in the morning to be exact, on the West Coast, 9:30 on the East Coast. So we'll be hanging out for the Leeds. That's going to be fun. Game 1 of the championship season this weekend. Got to get the Leeds back to the Premier League. So we'll be hanging out for that one. So I'll see you guys on the next live stream. You guys enjoy.